At this time of year, we can see a lot of videos about how we need to lock in, enter your winter arc, how to get your goals achieved before the end of the year. While I think these videos are really good to motivate you or inspire you or give you a little push to start working on the goals that you maybe have neglected, I think for anyone who's been struggling with achieving certain goals or has set expectations for themselves and you've not met them, those videos almost seem a bit delusional, impossible. And as well, if you haven't watched that creator before, you watch the video and you're like, okay, but how have you implemented this in your own life? Like, are you just sharing information that you've heard other people share, or is this something that you've lived through yourself? I always maybe naively thought that people would talk about things that they'd been through and systems that helped them or habits that helped them or how they were able to do things. A lot of people definitely do that, but the more of these videos I see, the more I realize that people are just like, they see it as a trend, so they're just mimicking what other people are saying or like going through really obvious points. And like, I do the same thing sometimes. I'll list like really obvious things and I'm like, why am I including this in a list of like how to get up early or whatever? But I think it's what you add to it of your experience, or maybe you need to say the obvious points up front because then you're going to build on them later. So it's not like these are bad videos to make, but when I was thinking about, I wanted to do a vision board video and do an autumn vision board because I made one last year and it was really helpful for me and I really just enjoyed the process as well. And I thought, oh, I could do like a whole become your best self this autumn, winter arc, you know, lock in. But the place I'm at right now, I'm like, that is not the way I'm feeling and I don't think that will be helpful. And also plenty of that already exists. So I'm not really adding anything new to the conversation. So I thought we could do a realistic vision board video, and I'm going to do this using Pinterest so you can follow along or make your own as well, and we're going to go through the process. But I'm looking at my vision board for the year and I'm feeling quite disappointed. There are things on here that haven't happened, or I don't know if they will happen by the end of the year, because as well we still have a couple of months left, so it's not like this stuff is not going to happen. But I guess thinking back to when I made this vision board, there were certain things that I had imagined for the year which fell apart quite quickly in terms of, I've done a whole video about this, a friendship breakup that happened in February. So a lot of the stuff that was on this board, I was like, oh cool, this is about like making friends or going places, seeing new people. And I wish that had happened, but I went through this friendship breakup which left me quite bitter and not really trusting people. So the quotes, I think I picked them well. They're still relevant and I've been able to draw strength from them. The one of the girl looking through the records, I've definitely lived through that this year in terms of I've bought my record player finally, so I've been able to actually listen to my records because my other one had been broken for so long. The one of the girl sitting on the floor, like papers and notebooks, and it looks like she's being creative. Again, I feel like I've done well with that. And then the disposable camera, I have used 2 of them this year and I think maybe I'll get another one for Christmas. So I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with like the nature pictures as well, that feeling of being outside and just being able to be calm. So there are definitely good things here, but I'm also a bit disappointed. So the reason I'm reviewing this is now I want to think about which of these things is realistic for me to focus on going into this last couple months to do my autumn vision board. I did make a vision board last autumn. It had lots of quotes, autumnal colours like orange and red and some deep greens, outdoor pictures, candles, a record player. Yeah, I think I kind of want to do the same sort of thing for this year. The problem I'm having, there's this lovely photo with nice scarf or, wearing like a nice jacket, but it's like I'm sat here in a t-shirt and it's nearly the end of October. The weather is quite concerning. It does not feel autumnal. Like the leaves are coming down. It looks like it's autumnal, but the clock's going to go back, so it's going to be dark really early again. But like the weather itself, I think it's a high of 16 and now it's at the moment 14, and that to me is way too warm for this time of year. So I'm like, yeah, I would love to add like a scarf photo or something to be like, get all your winter scarves, my winter hats out. But it's like, I don't actually need these things. And looking at the weather forecast for the next week, I won't need them for at least a week into November either. Like, very concerning. But I think I'm just going to go through Pinterest and find similar ones. I want to focus on more cooking and meal prep. And I do go through phases of this, but I would really like to prioritize that. I also want to prioritize wearing nice outfits instead of just wearing the most comfortable thing, because I do have so many nice things that I would like to wear, and I just want to, I guess, show up as that like ideal version of myself who always puts in effort and does her hair nice, or puts on a bit of makeup. Maybe that's not me, I don't know, but I would at least like to try to be that person. So I think I'll include some fashion photos as well. Definitely some quotes because I always find them helpful. And then I have a Pinterest board called Moody Atmospheric where I save photos that it will be like dark but with a lamp on, or like fairy lights or candles, or it's light inside but really dark outside. It's just like a certain feeling I get from the photos, and I save them on that board. And I definitely want to put some of them on an autumn mood board because that's the feeling of autumn, and I want to appreciate it instead of being like, oh, but it's dark so early, oh, I finished work and it's dark, right? Like, it's easy to complain about things. I find this weather does affect my mood, so it's easy to be like, oh no, blah. But I can remind myself, no, it's nice to sit with my fairy lights on, it's nice to sit with my lamps on or have some candles going, So I'm going to add some of those ones as well. In the last one, I did add a picture of running because I really wanted to get into running. And I had been running, but then this problem I had with my foot came back, and so then I couldn't do running. So I'm like, shall I put this on my board? Because I've been doing like the physio exercises and trying to build up some stamina so that I'm able to actually run again, even though I've not for so long. I've just been like walking up and down the stairs as many times as I can, which is such a small thing. I'm about the little things. It's something that I can see progress on as well. The first time I did that, I could only do up and down the stairs 5 times, but now I don't even, like, I lose count. Like, I just keep going and going. So I think I would be able to go for a run and keep running continuously. It's just what would happen with my foot would be the problem. So like maybe I'll put that on. Outlined at least 5 categories there: the meal prep, fashion, quotes. I want to look at my Moody Atmospheric board, and also running, or any kind of, I guess, anything that is invoking hobbies. I did a video recently all about why you need hobbies this winter, and so I want to include something on the board about that, just to remind myself that I can do something creative. It doesn't have to be just like scrolling on phone or scrolling on Pinterest. Like there is more things to do. And I think some photos of outside as well, to remind me that it's a good idea to go for a walk and be outside when the weather is like this. Because as well, now it's going to be dark so early, I will have to be making sure I'm going for a walk in the morning if I want to get any sunlight or just daylight, not even if the sun may not be out. But I'm gonna look on my saved boards because the ones that are appearing on the homepage are not inspiring anything in me. I actually have a autumn board somewhere, so let's have a look at the ones on here. So the process is not that complicated. I scroll through without thinking, and anything that catches my eye I save, because I'm like, oh, what could this mean? And sometimes I'm like, oh, it's because the leaves are really pretty. But other times it's like, oh, why am I drawn to this random photo of, this one of the castle? It's like, okay, it's not a castle, is it? Is that Edinburgh Castle? No, that's not. But stuff like that. It's like, what is this telling me that I actually want to do? Like, oh, do I want to find a nice cafe? I mean, this is a funny example. I thought this was AI. This one looks like it's been cleaned up, because the original AI one I saw it had water droplets on the table. Like, it was clearly the AI was drawing from, and I say drawing, I mean pulling from a photo of a cafe outside. So it had water droplets on the table, but it's clearly an indoor thing. But you can see it's AI because this writing here does not mean anything. And it also just has, I can't remember how I saw someone describe it, but it's like got this gross sheen. Like, it doesn't look quite right. Like, what is... And also it's when things are appearing out of nowhere. So this all seems kind of like it's cohesive. I mean, what is that? Is that supposed to be a clock? Where is this light coming from? Is that outside? And here it almost looks like this is not even a window anymore. And like, look at these plants. Like, it's it's easy to be like, oh yes, or look at the top of the coffee or whatever this is supposed to be. That doesn't look like real. But really the giveaway is if there's any text, because like, what is that supposed to say? Even if you like turn it on the side, what is that saying? See, this could go on Moody Atmospheric. This I quite like. Again, I'm just like paranoid about, is this AI? But I mean, it does kind of, looking at it again, that the glow of the light. Wait, is there a way to zoom in without it going? It's just, this looks weird. Okay, we're leaving that one. Maybe this one. Look, it's got water droplets on it, or it's got bits on it as if it's sat outside. And what is that book? Like, what is that text saying? Why has it got like 2 bookmarks? What is this? That doesn't mean anything. Like, this is not real. Same with this one. This is it. This is the one with the water droplets. It's inside, but it's clearly taken, the AI has taken a photo of a outdoor cafe, outdoor table, and has put it inside. Just so, like, whatever. That I like. But again, now I'm just suspicious of everything. Right, let's go to the quotes board because I'm fed up of scrutinizing those photos to see if they're AI. Quite a few quotes here, so I don't think all of these will make it onto the actual board, but we're going to save them all anyway and then see how we get on. I know I'm like recording the process, but now I'm realizing that it's quite quiet. I would quite like to put some music on, but I don't know if that will interfere with the microphone. But as you are making your board, please put on some atmospheric music. Actually, I might put on a record. Maybe that would not interfere with the microphone because it's further away. I don't know. I don't want to risk it. Okay, so we've got the quotes down. To be honest, I think in terms of the autumn photos that I would like to add, I was getting quite put off by all of that AI. So I think we're going to stick to pins that I have made, add those on. So like photos I've taken, which I guess is more realistic because this already happened, right? Like this is already my life. So then that's like reaffirming the life that I want is the life that I currently have. So I've got quite a few. I mean, this one is good for the meal prep that we talked about. I mean, I don't know why I'm saving these. I obviously already have them on my laptop, but it's just so I have all of the ones I want all together in one folder because I've saved them all together. But like this is the vibe. I don't have these fairy lights anymore because they broke, but I do have different ones. I think I prefer these though because they're more yellow. The ones I bought now, I mean, I did deliberately try and find yellow toned ones, but they're still quite white toned in comparison. Definitely adding this photo. The tricky thing about looking at Pinterest photos for fashion or outfit inspiration is that you can just end up being like, oh, I need that. Like, I need to buy some new jeans, or I need to buy a new skirt. I need to find shoes like that. And it's like, no, that's not the idea. The idea is to be like, oh, I can wear that jacket with those jeans, the stuff that you already have, right? Like taking inspiration to find new combinations in what you already own. It's not about like buying new things. This is the trap that we can fall into, or I certainly can fall into, quite like this, because realistically this is 1,000,000% something that I would wear. Literally, I would not look like Bella Hadid though, obviously. I do love these brown shoes. Oh, they're so nice, but I have them in blue, so I don't need another pair. Plus they are very expensive. I don't know how I have developed such expensive taste, but I see like the stuff I have on my list of, you know, if I had money I would buy this. It's ridiculous. Or even these like burgundy. They're lovely, but again, I don't need them. There's something about this one, I don't know what it is, because I think the outfit itself is quite weird. Like the colours, the patterns, the shape, this bag with these trousers, like there's something about it that I think is weird, but I also quite enjoy that. Like I do think that I like things that are kind of a bit ugly, or that you look at them twice, you're like, wait, do I like this? I don't know how to explain it, because sometimes I'll look at something and be like, do I like this? And the answer is obviously a no. And the only reason I'm asking myself, do I like this, is because it's like, I'm not sure about it. But other times it's like, I like this, but do I like this? Like, then I think I'm on the right track. Like, I have this denim bag, which I look at it and I'm like, I think this is actually quite ugly, but I also really like it. So there's something about this outfit that I think speaks to that feeling that I have of wearing things that are kind of a bit ugly or a bit unexpected. It's supposed to be just like fun instead of very serious. I mean, saying that, I'm literally sat here wearing a shirt and smart trousers and it's Saturday. But I don't know. I like this kind of fun, but then maybe this look is also quite summery. But we're saving that because I like the idea of that. This one is definitely more like classic. You know, you don't look at this and are like, oh, that's ugly. But I do like that. Also like this, but I am very aware that I will then start thinking about like, oh, maybe I need to buy a Le Pliage bag, and I don't. So maybe that one I'm not saving. This I am I was gonna say this is safe to put on my board, just because I'm not gonna be like, oh, I need a grey, like I've already got a grey cardigan, I've already got jeans. What shoes are these? Okay, I have like some loafers, right? So I look at this and I'm just like, oh, a nice interesting outfit, instead of being like, oh, I must buy a red bag, you know? And this, I do like it, but I think I might look at it and be like, oh, I need to buy a white roll neck sweater, which I obviously don't. But I do like the jeans and the shoes. What other categories? Oh, I wanted running, and then I think we really got all of them. So let's just search running aesthetic. This is actually quite helpful, so I'm saving this. I want some like outdoor photos that are not AI. I will look on my outdoorsy board. Some of these are just beautiful. I'm like, I want to go somewhere where you're driving along and you see this kind of thing, you know? Somewhere with mountains. This is quite cool. And this is like, get up early, watch the sunrise. Or even just like, look at the sky, look at the colours. Some of these are definitely summery though. But that's okay. I wish it was organised in alphabetical order, my gosh. Thank you, that's a lot better. Winter vibes, here we go. Then once you have assembled all your photos and saved them, we can start putting them together. So I'm going to use Canva. You can also use PowerPoint. I think I have a free trial of Canva Pro at the moment, but I don't actually use it to make this. So you don't need to pay for Canva is what I'm saying. You can do this for free completely. You upload your photos and then you'll be able to cut bits out or resize them. If you wanted to do background remover, you do have to pay for that, but I didn't end up using that for this vision board. I just made the photo smaller and did like a collage, but you can remove the background. There's also free ways to do that. If you go to background, I think it's remove.bg, you can upload the photo and then it will remove the background for you completely free, and then you can download whatever photo. So say you just wanted like an outfit photo without whatever the background is, then you could do that. And then really you just play around, and you can see I added loads and loads of photos. There was no way that I was going to be able to fit all of these into my vision board. As I was going through, I kept asking myself, is this still speaking to me? Or if there were two similar ones, I'd be like, which one do I feel portrays whatever feeling, whether it's like wistful or hopeful or quiet or reflective, which photo, these are similar, which one is portraying that emotion the best, and I would get rid of the other one. So do not worry if you saved way more than you're able to use. For me, that is a very normal part of the process. It's better to have more to work with than too few. So if you have too many, that's fine. You'll be able to weed them out and be like, this one's very similar, or I don't like this one anymore, or this is too much text, I don't like it. That's what I ended up doing. There were a couple which were quite wordy. I didn't want to make them super small. I didn't want them to take up loads of space, so I ended up getting rid of them, and that's fine. I'm still really happy with the way it turned out, as we shall see. And it was a really reflective process. I was listening to The Great Impersonator, Halsey's new album. I started listening to it yesterday at work, and I had to give up because it was a bit too emotional, and I was like, I'm already having a tough day at work, like I'm already on the verge of crying, so I don't want to listen to music that is sad. So instead I put on Tom Cardy's new album, which is very silly, getting me through my work day. But today, as I was doing this, I was like, actually I'm going to listen to the other half of that album, and so I just put that on in the background as I was doing this, and it is so beautiful. But it is very emotional, be warned. But I don't think that's a reason not to listen to it, but I just needed to be in the right headspace for it. I really like how she seems to be an all-round artist. Like, she writes her own songs, she's a painter, she's done a book of poetry, like her songs are basically poems. And this album is more emotional because she thought it was the last one she was ever going to make. They've been really unwell. They really didn't think they'd be able to make another album. A lot of the album, some of it feels like too personal in terms of it's about their son or about her mom. It's very emotional to listen to, but it was nice. I'm filming this on a Saturday, and it was nice on a Saturday afternoon as I'm assembling my vision board to put some music on in the background and be reflective. It's a nice catharsis, I guess, as well, because a lot of the emotions, while they are specific to her circumstance, some of the things are very relatable, like her relationship with her mom. I can't remember the name of the song because they're all like blending together, but if I heard it, I'd be like, oh yes, that's the one. That's the one. And I've only listened to the album all the way through once, so I need to listen to it again and I'll get more of a feel for each of the individual songs. But there was one where the lyrics, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is heartbreaking because it's so true. So I'd really recommend you listen to that. It is a really beautiful album. Or if you want something more lighthearted, as I said, you could listen to Tom Cardy's album. There's so many different people who've released music this year. It makes me so happy. So this is the final product, my finished vision board. You can see I added the fresco filter because I really like that blue filter. I add this onto all of my thumbnails as well. I just like the way it looks. It makes these set of images which might otherwise be all different, like brightnesses, I don't know, it just makes them all look cohesive. And I really like the quotes that I've ended up with. A couple of the photos are ones that I've taken, like this is my room with the fairy lights, so I like that because it's like, yes, this is, my life is already great, you know, it's not just like aspirational, I'm looking at all these things being like, I wish I was like that. It's like, no, I've already got like great things. And then I've got, as I wanted, a few nature shots to remind me to like go outside, look at the sky, notice the quality of the light. This one's the moody atmospheric representation that I wanted, cozy vibes, being inside, looking outside. I mean, I hope it snows. We were talking about the weather earlier. I really don't think that's going to happen. And then, yeah, quite a few fashion ones. I did put this one, the one I'd been talking about, how it's kind of weird, but I also like it. This is not really like a wintry outfit, but I just put it on anyway because I wanted it to be a reminder of like, wear something a bit weird sometimes, like be a bit out there and be like, what am I doing? And yeah, I'm happy with the quotes. I cut out, as I said, lots of the wordy ones, but I did keep this one. Don't be surprised by how quickly the universe will move with you once you've decided. I am just realising, looking at it again, I do want to include a photo of my camera, just something to do with my YouTube channel, because I would really, really like to get that monetized by, well, to be honest, very, very soon, but certainly by the end of the year. So I want something on the board that reflects that, and I did take a photo of my camera, so I think I will add that on, and then it shall be completed, which is really good.